Hi guys, sorry. So I hopefully some of you see this on replay. Listen, I'm gonna what's the word? Unlist the podcast I did earlier on because it was obviously me trying to use some time up to see if I haven't checked yet, but to see if this would get cut off again or if we're gonna work or not. But also as well, I end up talking about money and things I'm getting, and we've had that conversation, and you guys know my sort of monetary situation, but. What I don't want to do is give the wrong impression. So the reason I made this video is just to say I'm not hinting for any money. I'm not asking for anything. Everybody knows my secret is that I don't have a secret. Is that if I can get YouTube to monetize me by advertising, brilliant. But I'm not looking for super chats or anything else like that. Hopefully one day we can get advertising money again. We used to get it in the past. But the reason I'm making this video is just to say none of that's hinting. That's partly me wasting time and partly me what's going on in my mind at the moment, which is another reason why I tend not to make podcasts until after a certain time or until I've read a certain amount of news or whatever else, because I get the right subject in my head. So if I'm, when I'm going on about the costs of things, that's not because I'm trying to say anything to you as an audience. That's because, quite literally, what I said to you, I'm going to sit down after this video now and hopefully buy a couple of things that would be cool and pay off a couple of bills. So that's on my mind. Get this right. You got to get this right. Don't mess up with that. You missed a couple of deals, as I mentioned to you. All these kinds of things. So they're on your mind. So, and I'm very much a hyperactive kind of person. So until it's done, there's a little bit of excitement in not knowing for me and in hoping that I might be able to get a little bit more than I think I'll be able to. But in no means is it a poverty clause from me. At the end of the day, I'm starting a new channel. You don't need all the tech and all the kit to be able to do a good podcast. Yes, it's great to have all the tech when you're trying to create the very highest require a lot, but right now I've been able to do my intros and everything with the money I've already got. I've got a decent laptop that is surprisingly good at video editing. Most aren't, and I'm really lucky to have found that at the deal that I found it. And generally speaking, yeah, there's some things that could do with being renewed, but for right now I've got most of the equipment I need, not only for doing podcasts here but for going out and doing them as well. So yeah, we can all do with upgrades. Everybody can do with upgrades, and depending on where you are on the hierarchy, there's always room to upgrade. Do you know what I mean? So we can all say, I've heard people say it on podcasts, oh, I need so-and-so microphone. No, you don't need it, you just want it. So I just want to be clear. I've got enough to be going, if I want to go somewhere on location, I have the equipment to do that. If I want to do you a nice tarted up podcast, I can do that. If I want to do you a podcast about history, I can do that. Nothing's stopping me from doing any of those things. So if I bring that up in conversation, or if it does come up, that's only where my mind's at, because I'm thinking long term, and I'm wanting to do the best podcast possible. But it's not me. I don't want to start a new channel and start going on about money or anything else like that, because the fact of it is that, as I said, I just managed to run a lot bigger channel on the same money. So there's absolutely no reason right now why I would need any money coming in from anybody. So I just wanted to make that super, super clear, because if I do talk about anything like that, it's what's going on in my head. Same as sometimes when I talk about studio rooms and changing this and that, it's not really, shouldn't be on the podcast, but sometimes when I record at the wrong time, or if I say I'm going to waste some time, my subconscious comes out. So it's only really me. Like I say, I'm literally going to switch this off, check the recordings, and then I'm going to go and sort out my bills and that. And that is literally what's come out today. So I do not want anybody to think that I'm asking you for money, or that I even need any help at the moment. Like I say, we could all do with upgrading things. We could all do with better. And the only frustration I have at the moment is not being able to get places. But with that said, that's the only thing I'm really being held back with. Everything else, you play to the size of your podcast. Right now, my podcast is small again. It's small for the first time in ages. So everything I've got right now is perfect. And if the podcast grows to a bigger place, well, then you upgrade things at that point. So instead of trying to, what the mistake I made in my first podcast was trying to get everything ready first. Half of it you don't use, so it's a waste of money, and you can't sell it for the same money. A lot of it just isn't practical, and you never realised it. So you end up wasting a lot of money trying to be prepared for something you can't be prepared for. You're better off buying things as you need them as you go along in a podcast. So I just wanted to make that very clear. There's no asking going on. There's nothing like that. It was just my subconscious. But for right now, I've got everything I need. You know, things could always be better, but I've got everything I need to create the videos I need to create. Does that make any sense? I hope I'm explaining that correctly. I know I'm over explaining it a bit, but I just don't want to get this confused. So, and again, my secret is yes, I do want to try and get monetized by YouTube. I want their advertising to pay for the videos that I make, both for YouTube and off YouTube. It's no secret. That is no secret. It's always been the plan. But expecting people to pay for it or whatever else is not the plan. So it was great seeing Min come over today. That was awesome. And I hope you, and I hope Helen as well. I know I don't want to say too much online with Helen, but I just hope Helen is really okay, and I will check on her soon myself, actually. Take care, everybody. Tom Fury, I just want to set the record straight there, just in case, and I'm calling it a day for now. I might go back on and do a video later on, but it's got to be of substance, you know? So I'll catch you soon.